Well, I just kicked my system up to 32 gigs of RAM. That is plenty enough to make a RAM drive useful. So in this first video, I'm going to show you how to install a good one. And then in upcoming videos, I'll show you cool stuff you can do with it. The best free RAM drive software I found is called MDisk. MDisk Tools. MDisk Toolkit. You'll see it right there. Download it. Okay, let's go to my downloads. MDisk Toolkit, there it is. Move that to the desktop. Install it. That's fine. Excuse me. Don't need that anymore. You'll find RAM disk configuration. Well, what's a RAM disk? Well, it's a fake hard drive, SSD, whatever you want to call it, that uses your system RAM for super fast access. How much should I use? Well, I have 32 gigs of RAM. It's now asking me what's the maximum size I want to use for the RAM disk. I think I'll make it 16 gigs. That way, if it's ever completely full while I'm working on something, I still have 16 gigs of system RAM, which is a good mid-range amount. So let's set the RAM drive to 16. Let's be safe, 17 gigs. Now here's the important thing. Allocate memory dynamically. If I do not do that, I will lose 17 gigs of my system RAM immediately. If I do it, it will only use as much RAM as it actually needs, expanding and contracting as it fills and empties. So that's what you want to do. Drive letter, R is good. Launch a Windows startup, sure. Excuse me. Create temp folder, now we need to bother with that. Okay. Now this was my choice for size. If I had 64 gigs of RAM, I'd probably give at least a 32 gig, 48 gig RAM drive. If I had 16 gigs of RAM, maybe 8, that might be pushing it. Don't try this with less than 16 gigs, okay? It's not worth it. All right, let's see how we're doing here. We got a new disk drive with 17 gigs of space, but since it's empty, it's not using up any system RAM. Excuse me. As it fills, I'll lose system RAM. As it empties, I'll gain the RAM back. This is a super fast temporary disk drive. I say temporary because when you reboot your system, you lose the contents. That can be handled in an upcoming video. Basically, that's it, though. If I want to... another advantage is RAM is made to be written to billions and trillions and quadrillions of times. Unlike a hard drive or an SSD that will eventually burn out, especially an SSD. So a RAM drive would be used for uncompressing files or arranging things. Anytime you have a temporary operation and you don't want to use up the writes on your SSD or hard drive. All right, I guess that makes sense. That's the end of this video. I'll show you how to do cool stuff with it in the next video.